Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Alternative FM World Cup Challenge. And it's not as easy as it might appear, because we have to finish in the top six, and if we don't get automatic promotion, we have to win through the playoffs. You cannot proceed unless your team is actually promoted. And so we've got off to a fairly decent start, I'd say. Burnley have opened up a little bit of a gap. There are 27 games gone now. We're going into the last 19 games. So hopefully we can stay ahead of Derby. I won't mind at all. Good evening, Bobby. Good to see you. And I've noticed I've got 2 likes there. I do appreciate that. Probably from people who know that how much likes help the channel, and I do appreciate that. So thank you very much for doing that, even before you're prompted. And yeah, we need to finish above Derby. I don't fancy the playoffs at all, and that will be difficult given the teams that will be below us or in that group of 4. So we've got off to a good start. As you can see, we're still in the transfer window, and I still have money. And I have 5.5 million, and I am looking for a DM, but as yet nothing has been found. And if I go and look at midfielders, I've just got this one who's not a DM, and at the moment my scouts really are not finding players in that position that actually fit what I want to do and that I can afford. And Tom Kearney might, but he's too old. And unfortunately, that's kind of what's happening. There are players, possibly like Jason Knight, but he's not a DM, he's a centre mid. So they're not really finding the players, and I have no control over this. Paddy McNair, who is 29, he is available on a free transfer. And although he's not the greatest player in the world, I think he'd do a decent job as a backup. And I am so tempted, but I guess time is going to run out very shortly. Good evening, Crush and Rock. Good evening, Callum. How are you, my friends? Good evening, Saul. Good to see you. Don't forget to give us a like. And thank you to all those of you who have done so far. Today we're going to play Luton. I haven't actually studied this, Luton, and I am playing the game slower, and you might have noticed over recent weeks, those following the Ipswich save as well. I've slowed it right down. I want to make sure that we can maximise the results. I am so enjoying the Villa save, and I've spent most of the day putting together the video for the next episode against Liverpool, and I watched that. I spent 2.5 hours, I think, going through the stats, and it was such fun, and set them up, and then I watched the game in full match. And when you watch a game in full match, it lasts about 60 minutes, and I had a 10-minute break before half-time, at half-time, to think about things that I needed to alter, and it was almost like having a half-time in reality, and I actually lived through that entire game. And at the end of it, when the final whistle blew, I felt like I'd been a manager. I felt like I had really been a manager, and that was kind of cool. I don't have a scout report, unfortunately, but maybe it's because, yeah, we haven't moved on yet. So that's probably why I'm going to rest the players for a day. I always do. I'll go to... where's the rest gone? Let's just click on one. Yeah, the rest is back. It's probably because of Ballard. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just remove Ballard. So let's... I'm not quite sure why. Because he's resting already, maybe. So let's just go and remove Ballard. And then we should be able to rest the rest of them. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, just because he needs a rest. I'm trying to give him a rest. And I'm not allowed to. It's just quite interesting. Look at David Ayala. I can't do that, Bobby. Under the rules, I can only sign players that my scouts find. So I know there's loads of good players out there. I could just type in here and look for them and sign them, but I can only find players that my scouts find. That's the rules of the challenge I've set up, and it was probably my mistake, but we have to live by the rules. That's what makes it so difficult. So I'm hoping that they will find a decent midfielder for me. I had to attend a scout meeting so I could tell them that I was looking for a DM, so hopefully they will find someone. And do you know what, Bobby? I kind of like live by that rule when I'm playing FM anyway. Everybody can watch a YouTube video and go and sign all these meta players that these guys find, and I kind of think that takes the fun away from playing, because you never allow yourself the struggle. And a lot of the times you see me absolutely in despair and cursing, and it's quite funny when I look back on it a couple of days later. But if you just go out and sign all these great players, then you never get to experience the awfulness of how FM can be at times. And I live by the rules that I can only find players that my scouts find, unless I've been in a previous club, of course, where I will have knowledge of that club or league myself. So that's the only exception to that I will make, because I guess a manager who's managed in Brazil coming into England will bring a lot of knowledge with him. So I do make the rule a little different for countries and clubs that I've managed in. And indeed, if you watch the Journeyman save, when I was in Brazil and went to Newcastle, I brought over 2 players from the club I was at. It made it very easy for me to bring them over and at good prices because I knew them and they had a close relationship with me. But anyway, on with the show. Luton, we do have a report now. they are good at the near post, so we need to really focus on the far post. And the other thing is I can only use the pre-installed routines that my my centre manage that my set piece coach is actually using. I can't introduce downloads of my own or even my own set pieces. So they are a good team, Luton, looking at them. And I hate this, but I've had an idea about how to break this down. Because another team are going to sit back, soak up pressure, and then they're going to break at pace. I don't believe that he's going to play as a winger, because he's a complete wing back. So he's going to also want to be coming inside. So this is not an issue. Their front players are not an issue, but the complete wing backs, and there are two of them, they are an issue. And I struggle against this so much. If you start in non-league, you can't sign top players anyway. Absolutely. Absolutely, Callum. And why would a Brazilian wonder kid want to come and play for Sunderland at this point? So, and even when they're struggling in the Premier League, they just wouldn't want to. And it becomes more about management then, good, solid management of your squad, rather than just bringing in good players and building a team that way. I think anybody can just bring in these great players. I could watch several videos myself, know who they are, and bring them in. It's for me, it's not it's not playing the game as I would like it played, and everybody plays differently and and different people want to play in their own way. I don't have a problem with that, but I prefer to play it like this. It becomes more on me than the players. So I'm not seeing anything that is desperately poor. The fact that they are poor at crossing doesn't mean anything to me, because I actually don't know about him. But Doherty, I know, is pretty good crosser of the ball. So the squad might be poor, but these two are probably very good. So that a lot of this can be just set aside. What I'm interested mostly these days in is their pressing style. This plays a big part in the game, and I want to go to the data hub and just quickly have a look. They're playing a wing play style because they have these wing backs. I've had a thought about the forward, and I think that instead of playing a forward on attack, it might be better to play a forward on support. That means he might bring one or the other of the defenders out of shape. So if you bring him on support, he's going to sit a little deeper. Pressing forward on support will still pressure them, but he will come deeper to involve himself more in the game and look to feed others in. So I've had this thought that we switch our forward to a pressing forward on support and see how that goes. Looking at what I'm looking for isn't here. So I might have to go to next match performance, and still not there. My scouts are not good enough to provide me with that data. They're trying to provide me with data that they think I need, but I don't actually think that I want that data. I'm going to have a look at the assists. Alfie Doherty, as you see, I already know he's an issue. Victor Moses is also a problem player. But apart from that, they're not particularly productive in terms of their defenders assisting. So crossing might be an issue for them. And this is the nearest I can get to how they're going to press. And they actually attempt their passes from inside their own half. So that just says to me that they're going to sit deep. There's very little passes attempted in the opposition third. It's all mostly around the halfway line. So that may be a mid-block that they're going to sit in, and they're just going to wait for me to make mistakes, get people behind the ball. They have fewer passes in the defensive third than we would expect. So we need to put them under a little bit of pressure, but I also need to be aware that I need to draw them out higher up to leave spaces behind the complete wing backs. So really, I haven't got a lot of information in the data hub. I'm going to go to the analyst report now, and there's a lovely little screen that I like to use, which is in the formation. So they will tell you about the formations they use and how successful they are. They have a +1 rating for using the 5-2-3. If we look at the formations they face, the 4-3-3, they have a -3. So that tells me immediately the other shape I play in is the 4-2-3-1. And they have a 0 on that. So it tells me that the 4-3-3 is probably what we should be playing in. And I think it does work. I think the more work that you put in, Bobby, the better your results are going to be. It's like anything else. So I'm getting a picture now that we need to play in this 4-3-3. I don't know why he's on automatic. I don't know what's happened here. And I think he should be a ball winner, but we're not getting that. Is he a DLP, this one, and a centre mid on attack? I'm not quite sure why that had changed. My assistant has been busy by the look of it. So we're going to play in the 4-3-3. And I am aware that I need to possibly stay in this mid-block because I want to draw them out a little bit. If they're going to sit back, I want to draw them out a little bit. That might be wrong, but it might be right at this point. I don't think I need to step up more because their passing is only 10% of their passing takes place in my defensive third. And I don't think I need to drop the line because I think they're more likely to be coming inside. I'm not going to play with the press because that will only encourage them to sit back again. And I'm going to take that off because I don't need to do that yet. And one of the things that I'm going to have to do is to play with a higher tempo. If they are going to press in their defensive half, then I'm going to need to move the ball around a little bit. I also need to make sure that the players with good off the ball are not static and that they're moving into spaces, which is why I want to pass into space, not to feet. I don't want us dwelling on the ball, and I don't want to work the ball into the box because that will mean that we dwell on the ball. I'm just going to play dribble less because I want them to pass the ball, not dribble. And we're just going to leave that blank. And so I think we're going to play positive because we're at home and try and put some pressure on them in the middle third of the pitch where I think that we will win the midfield battle. I'm wondering if I should play out of defence. I think so because they're not going to press high. And I just now want to just try and identify where am I going? I need to go to their schedule. And I can't see their... Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I can I? I can't see their schedule. That's us. So I need to go to Luton. Talking and doing this at the same time. And I need to go and just have a quick look at their last game. Not their last game. I want to look at this one that they won. Although, do I really? Because this was against Port Vale, I'd expect them to win anyway. But I can see immediately before it's loaded, they only had 37% of the possession. And that's an indication that even against a lower league team, they were under pressure. And Port Vale, as you can see, had pretty much most of the ball. And Luton really struggled. They were playing in a different shape, so they really struggled. And I can see their spaces behind, like, wow. So I don't want to look at that one. I want to look at this one against Watford. And there's the three at the back system. Their complete wing backs are very high up the pitch, which means that they're going to leave space at the back. And if I can use the forward to pull this player out of position, leaves an absolute gaping hole. And you can see Watford absolutely dominated the ball with 64% of the possession. but they were difficult to break down, as I expect they will be. So I think we're going to go with that. I think the team is good, and I think we're going to go with that. And hopefully we won't get any injuries. I find that closed down more and every player individually works well. It's all tweak FM, sometimes good, sometimes bad. I mean, I've heard Neil saying that trigger pressing isn't the greatest thing that you should do. As yet, I'm not sure. I think that if you don't trigger press, then you just leave players isolated. And as yet, who is this guy? Lewis Dobby. Oh, he's... I really don't know why he's coming in. That's not part of anything that I've done. It's part of the real world setup, and I agree with them. Disappointed. Needs to go into the under-21s. Out of the way. He's already in the under-21s. And I agree with them that he's probably not the greatest signing that Sunderland have ever made. But not anything I could have any control over that. So, who knows? He might develop into a world-class winger. You never know. And, have we got a defensive midfielder suggested here? 7.2 million to 10. He's just outside. But his age fits what the board want. And a lot of development left to do. Nice ball-winning midfielder. Tackling and marking need a little bit of work. In fact, he does need a little bit of work. He's 6'2". A decent 20-year-old. We're going to shove him on the short list anyway, just to have someone in the short list. And that would be very nice indeed. Another one, defensive midfielder, probably doesn't look as good. It's a little bit too pricey, unfortunately. And we'll have a look. I'll have a look off camera at the scouting, because that will take too long going through all the players. Hey, Spike. It's about to start realistic Leeds United safe, trying to have an Australian revolution. Awesome. That would be very good. So I guess I'm still trying to sell Alan Brown. We've put him out there. We haven't had a reply back yet. The others are getting pleased. Mayende, still can't sell him either. We'll try and sell him. He's worth a few bob. So we'll go to an intermediary. Let's see if that comes up with anything. So we got kind of like, I can get more money than that. They're both the same. I'll go for the 8%. And we have, let's see what he comes back with. We don't have to accept it. And we'll see what he comes back with in terms of what's available. Be lovely to bring in a really good player around 15, 16 million. But I don't think that's going to happen somehow. So let's move on. Let's go to Luton. I think that we should be okay. That was close. And I'm also thinking, put this pressing forward on support. Let's get him more involved in the game. And he might pull out, as he comes deeper, he might pull out a central defender and we can get either this boy in. He should be on the other side, I think. Because we've got an inside forward on attack there going in this space. And we'll have him going into this space. So I think I need to switch those over. And we'll put him on as the DLP on support. And we'll have him as the centre mid on attack. So that gives us these two players going past Connolly, hopefully, into space. That's the plan. I find it very difficult to break teams down. Oh, he's done it again. I wanted to accept that offer because then I can put him out there, raise the price a little bit and put him out there. But unfortunately, he's rejected it. He's not telling me what his valuation of the player is. He's going at 9.25. I'm going to lower that to more like 7.5. I don't think he's worth that much money, but we'll see what happens there. Who's this guy he's made an offer for? I don't think we'll bother with that. And I've got to find him first. There he is, John Lennon. He can go back to songwriting. I don't think we want to bring in John Lennon. And do you have any early predictions on how think you Sunderland will do in the Prem? I've said many times, Callum, that we're into this situation, and a lot of people have talked about it, that it's going to be very, very hard for any promoted team to stay up now. Why is he rejecting these offers? I've promised to sell them, but I can't change what he's doing. I have to have the settings this way. And I kind of like... It's up to 8.5 million. Why is he rejecting it? This is really weird. I have rejected this bid because I feel the player has a future at the club, but I've promised him I'll sell him. Oh, this save is so hard. You're not allowed to interfere, and that's making it very, very difficult. I mean, I'd like him to stay because I think he's a good squad player. I want to do attacking free kicks as well as attacking corners. Might be an error. But I think that we're probably going to be the more attacking team. And I hope that playing the ball around... he wants to switch those over, does he? Let's have a look why. He wants Sanucci as the centre mid on attack. That's possibly a good call, and Bellingham is probably better as the DLP. I just want to check Bellingham. He's not going to be great, but he's probably going to be okay. The bench is okay as well. Al-Shaize is now fit, so he can come in for Anderson. I have Huggins on the bench, and I should have a right back, a left back. Did I just remove the left back? So Huggins can be left or right. He can play at left back without any problem, which means that Cielt can come in off the bench for Alan Brown, and he is the central defender cover. Chris Rigg and O'Neill can cover midfield, and the rest are forwards. And I do need to put Mayenda in the window so he can come on the bench as well. And we will go with this. We need to just, at first, make sure we've got the possession, make sure that we are the attacking team. And I think it'll be okay from then. I'm just hoping that we can at some point break them down. If you were watching the Villa save, I even played against Rotherham, who were very difficult to break down. Even though we won 3-0, all of those goals were from set pieces. And I just find these really hard to break down. And I am wondering, would a pressing forward on support be better than just having an isolated, kind of like an advanced forward? He'll just play as an advanced forward, really. So would it be better? This is not acceptable, Alan. Come on. Not acceptable, 6.15. Get your act together. So I do believe that we will... Oh, he's done it again, has he? Defender right. I do need probably a right back if I sell Hume. But I don't think we're going for that type of player. Connor Sellers, wasn't he? Is that him? No, that's a staff member. Who was it? Byron Wilson, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't think we'll really bother with him. Thank you very much for looking and suggesting, but I don't think we're going to go with that. The young lad you were looking at a moment ago, Neil Lennon's son, is it? Oh, I didn't realise that, Bobby. It just doesn't fit for me, unfortunately. Aaron Connolly is fit, which is good. So I think he's included in the squad, yeah. And away we go. We need to set up the opposition instructions. We'll have a look at that. Positive to attacking, not at the beginning. Thank you for the advice, but we'll just avoid that for now, and then let's just go and have a look at this. And the wing backs in particular, Victor Moses, left foot for sure, and I think we'll give him a hard tackle. Let him know that he's in a football match. And then the other side, Alfie Doherty is a good crosser of the ball, and so right foot for sure. He will do all their set pieces as well. Right foot for sure and a hard tackle. I think that should hopefully deal with him. The forwards, if we get this right, I shouldn't have to really worry about. He can be on his left foot. And Odebear, do I want to force him outside and cross? Yes, I do. So he can be on his left foot and we'll hard tackle him as well. He can go outside. He can go outside. Get outside. And Rutter, if we've got this right, we shouldn't again need to bother with particularly. I don't like hard tackling advanced forwards because they're going to be in our penalty area a lot of the time. Maybe it's long shots at 12. I was thinking about closing him down, but I don't think it's necessary. We don't need to target the back three because I'm hoping that Connolly will press the one he thinks that is relevant. So I think, until we know otherwise, that probably should do the trick. And I think everything is set, ready to go. Actually, a good plan would be to tell him to track Victor Moses. That will allow my wing back then to just focus on the winger, who this side I want to close down, this one I want closed down less. So it may be that Roberts can also track his man, who would be the wing back on the left, Alfie Doherty, and that will help to double up then in these areas. So that's it. Let's go and play some football. I think I've actually got the sound on again because obviously I'm playing games in the Villa save. Everything else is okay. So here we go. First game of tonight, Luton. It's a game I'll be disappointed if we don't win. I was thinking about that. I maybe even type marking him. I'll go and have another look at that. And certainly my assistant is raising something that I was thinking about in terms of Victor Moses. He's a very good player. Doesn't have the greatest pace. Therefore, closing him down probably seems like a good option. Probably not a good option to type mark him because of his agility and balance, his dribbling skills. His decision making is also not bad for this league. So probably not a good idea to type mark him, but certainly won't harm to close him down. It's a good call, that, from the assistant. And let's go and tell them the media have given you loads of credit because you're playing well. And we've got over that bad spell, remember? Now let's go and kick some butt. And let's go and get a result, boys. I want to just keep an eye on Connolly and where he's positioning himself and is he getting involved in the game. And hopefully we're going to see that. Not that. Not that kind of rubbish. But I have to remember, this is not Manchester City in the Premier League, that we are in the Championship, and we're going to spray passes in the wrong place from time to time. And we're also going to do things like that. I don't want to put on work the ball into the box at the moment because I want us to play with a higher tempo, move the ball around, and try and dominate the game as much as we can and stop Odegaard. That was actually a good highlight because we forced him onto his wrong foot. So that doesn't bother me too much at all. Set pieces bother me because every time I go both attacking corners and attacking free kicks, I concede from a set piece. That bothers me a lot. So hopefully we're going to break them down without too many problems. And they've got the system. They only seem to have limited players in the box there. So I hope we're going to get enough players into attacking situations to cause them problems. And Roberts hasn't been good. I thought he was one of my top players at the beginning of the season, but he hasn't been that good. So I'm hoping to see some games from him as we move through the last part of the season. Is that a free kick, referee? And there you can actually see how many players they've got behind the ball. And this is how they're going to play. And breaking that down is one of the hardest things to do in FM. And I've tried a lot of things. I've tried playing much wider to try and stretch the back three. It doesn't seem to have any effect, but it could be the quality of players that I've got. But I will try wider if we can't break them down early on. We've got all the ball. They're not really troubling us in terms of possession. We've had 75% of the possession, so they're not really troubling us. But hopefully they won't counterattack and catch us out, which is why I've got the two wingers tracking back on the wing backs to try and double up for those counters. But we just need to keep the ball, keep zipping it around, and hopefully space opens up. And I am watching Connolly's position. He's a little bit deeper, which is good. And hopefully he will bring players into the game as well. But as you can see, we are having trouble breaking them down, which is why we have to go at a higher tempo. I may even lift the tempo to get it out of our feet quicker. But at the moment, this seems to be a good tempo, and we're getting into their penalty area. And, I don't know. I don't know. It's early days yet. If we can get a goal from a set piece, I'll be happy. But what we do know is that they are going to defend well. And we need to defend well as well. Look, this is the counter-attack that worries me. And we didn't get back in numbers enough. And I'm quite sure what he did then. What Hume did. He seemed to jump up in the air. Hey, Pedro, how are you doing? I was asked a question, I think, earlier on, Pedro. You might be able to answer it. About the trigger press. And I did say that somebody from Match Lab had told me that the mod had actually like the trigger press perhaps you need to come off the trigger press a little bit more than you normally would. I don't know. Am I reading that correctly? Derby 2 up. Yeah, the game is making this difficult for me as well. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to push too many people forward at this point in time. You just got to be patient. And I'm playing with a high trigger press, so maybe I should come off the press a little bit. But I'm not playing against a very good team. He's offside, isn't he? I'm just trying to break down. Just trying to break down a team that are sitting back. And that was unfortunate. That's what we need to be doing. And we need more of that. And that was very unfortunate, actually. And I'll take a go from a set piece. The issue with trigger press is that now players will react more actively. Yeah, which is going to pull them out of position. So I'm getting you there. I'd like to experiment with it a little bit, but this isn't the safe to do it because I can't afford to lose games because I'm experimenting. But I'll set up my Watford save, which I test everything in, and have a look at that. See if I can spot that they're getting out of position a little bit more. If I spot it here, that they're just rushing out and the teams are going by us, then I will change it here as well. But it is one of the things that I actually look for when I'm playing the game. I'm very aware of how teams press you and how you then press opposition teams, and especially the press from the opposition. I'm very aware of keeping an eye on how they're pressing. Come on, boys, somebody get this goal. Use it only in the right position, not with all of your players. So just stumbled on your channel. I'm doing a Sunderland rebuild often. Thank you, Scott. Good to have you here. And I hope you find a few things of use to you on the channel. One of the things might be of interest to you, Scott, is the Aston Villa save that I'm doing. And it's a save playing how I used to play. Delving into all the stats and not just letting the game control everything and watching 5 minutes of highlights. So that might be of interest. All the work I do pre-game and the post-game analysis and trying to work out how to do as good as we possibly can. And this is becoming a little bit of a conundrum, this game, because all we're getting is set pieces, which we're not using particularly well. Maybe one of them will go in. The odds are in our favour as the game progresses, but I can't rely on that. We need to break them down somehow. And with Sirkin is advanced, or at least should be. But it does seem Hume is getting into more advanced positions on the right-hand side, and he's on support, whereas Sirkin is on attack. And he needs to be getting forward a little bit more. But let's just find players, be patient. I might have to lift the tempo. I think I'm going to start by lifting the tempo a little bit. Just get it out of your feet, boys. Don't worry about holding on to the ball at all. Get rid of it. Pass, move, pass, move. That's better. Pass, move. What we're not doing is looking for that killer pass. And you can see that from the midfield get hold of it. The ball's going for the safe option. Oh, that was close. We're not looking for that killer pass at the moment. Yeah, I'm on fairly narrow as well, Pedro. We're absolutely dominating the game. It's just a case of can we just put one in and then the game's over. Good evening, FM Academy. How are you? I mean, I wonder what possession stats are. We were 75%. It's now 67, almost 70% of the possession. My problem, I think, is midfield, not what's going on up front. We're not finding that killer pass. And I did talk about Job Bellingham perhaps not being the right player to have in there. He doesn't have a killer pass on him. And I probably now need to just tell them to work it into the box. I didn't put that on because I didn't want them taking too many touches around the penalty area, but we're going to have to. I mean, I agree, Bobby. If anybody's going to score, we look the more likely. We're getting a lot of set pieces, but not taking advantage of them. What I might do, and I am allowed to do this, is go to my set pieces. And I'm actually going to attack. And I'm allowed to use the default one. So I'm going to go short. Let's try playing it short. Because we're not winning the aerial battles in the penalty area. So let's try some short set pieces and see what happens there. We've had so many corners and they've just been wasted. So let's go short and see if we can't create a chance that way. But we're dominating the ball. I suspected we would. And maybe also the other thing I can look at is getting higher up the pitch. They've got numbers back. They've got 7 in that defensive block. And that's really tough to break down. And it is just really be patient. We should win this. I think I've got the forward power to do it. It's just, can we get that opening goal? Oh boy, what a chance. What a chance. I think Pedro would have scored that one. I'm pretty sure. 70% of the possession. Possession does not win football matches. And only 1 shot on target. It's not acceptable. My error, we'll take it as my error for now. How can I get more forward players? I could go all out attack. I could put Hume as an attacking option. He's getting further up the pitch than Sirkin. We do have the 3 for safety at the back, and we've got Roberts and Isidore tracking back. I'd probably need to add 1 more attacking role, but I'm not going to. I could put Connolly on attack, but then that takes away his involvement in the game, but I'm going to do that anyway. Even if he's isolated, he's just going to look to score the goal now. And we'll go attacking in the second half, and I'm just going to tell them that they're just not playing well enough. But it's shocking. Our shooting has not been good enough. I've given them some assistance now and told them to work the ball in the box, into the box. Let's go out and see what happens. I just still want to hold on to possession, zip it around, and just try and let the pace of the ball cause confusion at the back. And hopefully we will do that. There's a ball. Oh, almost. We have yet another corner. I've never liked playing against this 5-3-2 system. And I've always... Well, short didn't work either, did it? That was just... Oh, it was a free kick, though. Job is following his brother and going to Dortmund. Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it? Fair play to him. I think he's a decent young prospect. And I think you were offside, buddy, anyway. And I think that he'll do quite well. Eventually, he's got a lot of learning to do, but Dortmund is a good place to go to learn. So I think it's a good move for him. I kind of like him, that Joe Bellingham. I kind of like the way he plays. And hopefully he'll do well at Dortmund and then be sold to somebody in the Prem again for a lot of money. I don't know why the Prem teams don't do it instead of Dortmund. It cost them a lot cheaper. It'd be a lot cheaper for them to sign him then. Come on, boys. Come on. We need this goal. The game's getting older. It's better. Much better. And we're still creating chances. At least that one was on target. Seems like they're getting more aggressive. Looks like they're getting stuck in. Oh! Offside, Connolly. Oh, this is a nightmare start. We could always get caught ourselves by a set piece. Wouldn't that be ironic after all the set pieces that we've had? And wouldn't it be ironic if they go and score from a set piece? FM is a cruel mistress. I would prefer to play in full match, Pedro. I played in the Villa save against Liverpool yesterday. The whole setup took me 2.5 hours. The game was 1 hour and 10 minutes playing in full match. And I just felt like a football manager. And that's how I used to play the game. And I'm enjoying that Villa save so much that everything is slowed down. And I really am enjoying that. So these guys, something needs to change. Something desperately needs to change. He's playing in his preferred role. Roberts, though, what I think I'm going to do with Roberts is put him as a winger on attack. We're going to make Hume. Now we're going to leave Hume on attack, and I'm going to have him cut inside with the ball. We need to mix it up a little bit here, do something different. I want Connolly to roam from position. He's already doing it. And Isidore, I want him to come inside. He's been going outside because there's no room in front of the defence. I'm going to come back. I know this is going to seem odd. I'm going to come back into a low block. And I'm going to play a little bit more direct. And I'm not going to pass out of defence. I just want to get the ball forward, and in transition, we're going to take all that out. And what I'm going to do is ask the goalkeeper. Can't do that. Let's put him as a sweeper keeper. Still can't. On support, still can't. I want him to be more direct in terms of his passing. But unfortunately, you can't do that for some reason. I don't want him to take more risks as such, but just want him to be a little bit more direct and get the ball forward. Can I do it this way? Let's just see how that goes. Can I do several options now? I'm just going to let the goalkeeper kick it long, I think, and then just let the goalkeeper decide. The reason why I'm doing that is because we have 3 players in midfield, and they should be able to mop up any nod downs. I'm playing at that tempo we could then move it along. I don't know why the goalkeeper is nervous. He's probably suffering a little bit like me. Because I'm a bit nervous. Because we just can't break them down again. But I hope that mixing it up a little bit now will be what it needed to... That little change that we're doing will be what it needed. We've still only got one shot on target. And this is annoying me a little bit. But we'll go into a low block and try and pull them out. And there's space now opening up behind. And the more direct passing, hopefully we can find that space. Shooting from there is not good. I don't want to be more disciplined because now I want them to attack, not to defend. And we've had totally... I don't think Luton have had anything of the ball. And we've stopped their attacking players. Hey, Soz, just try and be like over 18 if you can. Nice to see you. I also prefer full match. The first time I used it was just a big difference. Yeah, me being retired and the Villa save, if I wasn't doing YouTube, that's how I'd play the game. And the Villa save has just been a breath of fresh air for me because I spend like all morning just on one game. And that's been a breath of fresh air for me. And I can remember before I did YouTube that's how I played the game. And I felt like I was a real manager and not just a spectator watching some highlights on TV. I need to make some changes now. Connolly is the first one to be sacrificed. Get and try and score the goal, boy. Nobody's tired because we're not actually pressing them. But I'm not happy with Bellingham in there. I think I might go with what I originally decided. He's probably better equipped, although not really. It's probably better to go the other way, actually. He should be getting further forward. I also want him to roam from position and try and get into spaces. And then Dan Neil, apprehensive. Goalkeeper, why is he nervous? Probably the same reason as me. I think I need to take Joe Bellingham off, but I don't have anyone who can play that DLP role very well. He's a good youngster, developing. He's no DLP. I think I'm going to bring Chris Rigg on just to do something different. Dan Neil at the base. He's not having the greatest game, so O'Neill can come on for Dan Neil. I don't want him playing as a DM. Not with two attacking wing-backs. He needs to stay where he is. Everybody else, I think for the time being, I need to shout at them. That's what I need to do. Just have a nice shout, make myself feel better, demand more of them. They ought to be winning. Well, I don't think we need to go wider. We're getting space out on the flanks. And again, it's just not happening. I don't know what else to do. You know, you could argue the tempo's too high, that they're just getting frantic around the penalty area, taking shots where they don't need to because of the pace of the game. Could be that. But now that we're playing more direct, you need a tempo. So I might just lower that tempo a little bit Just see if that can make the difference. I've tried everything now that I can think of. They've just defended deep, and once again I've struggled to break them down. Isidore is getting tired and probably needs to come off. Who was that? He's better as an attacking mid. The other thing I can do is to switch for the last 10 minutes to the 4-2-3-1, get him higher up the pitch. Hey, Mr. K, how are you doing? We do have a chance. Oh, what are you doing? No wonder no one wants to buy you, Mayende. What a chance. Right. I think my last ditch attempt to try and break this lot down. Don't want two Volantes. The last ditch attempt. Isidore. Roberts. I'm going to play him as a winger. I want to try and use the space. He needs to stay on. He's one of the hopes that I have. Wing backs are tired. But I'm going to try Louis Barry on this side. Again, he is an inside forward. That's where he wants to play. Let's give him a shot. They're all nervous and apprehensive. I don't know why. You've just got to go and score the goal, and then you'll be fine. And you won't have a roasting when you come in. 18 shots, only 3 on target. That's let us down. That's poor. That's really poor. And they could still yet win this game, Luton. There's a little trigger press where he didn't, where it was all over the shop. Oh, I thought they were going to win it there for a minute. So I think the trigger press, you might be right, because there was that trigger press there. He was like way too late. Oh, they've sacked him, have they? I haven't heard about that. They've sacked Postecoglou. I'm a little bit sad about that because I don't think that he actually did too bad a job. I think that he also, like the Manchester United manager, has the wrong players for the type of game that he wants to play. And I thought in the middle of the season, they didn't do too bad at all. And there were times where they couldn't play what he wanted to play. But that's about personnel. He needs to build a team around what he wants to play, and he didn't have a chance to do that, unfortunately. Demands of playing in high-profile clubs, I'm afraid. Results matter. But he'd won the Europa League and got them into Europe. I thought that might have been enough. Unfortunately not. They were playing attacking football. Just to rub it in, Derby are winning 5-0. They were playing attacking football, and there's a cost to playing that kind of attacking football. Oh dear, it's so poor what we're doing today. It's like, oh boy. And my inability to break down teams with 5 at the back continues. To get results against Sunderland, teams should know by now, all you've got to do is set up in a 5-2-3 or a 5-3-2. Because we ain't going to score. It's almost over. And that means we're going back to third. Luton, a team at the bottom again. My record against teams at the bottom. Why are you wasting time? You're not instructed to waste time. Get on with it. Oh, he is. That's part of the 4-2-3-1, and I shouldn't have that on. Oh, they completely messed that up as well. That's it. We tried everything, and we couldn't break them down. And because we changed things up, it's got to be firmly and squarely on the fact that they didn't play well. Not on the manager, because I tried a lot of things. Just when we finished third in the 2-horse race, we actually did that under Poch. I mean, I don't know what Spurs fans think. You were not good enough. Not good enough, I'm afraid. It's cost us second place again. And Burnley probably won quite handsomely, I would expect. Yeah, Burnley beat Watford. It's not looking good, boys. Not looking good. I do need that DLP. I absolutely have to get that DLP in. I just can't see one. Burnley player. He's not the boy. It's just not the one. This is almost like desperation stakes now. Paddy McNair always coming up near the top. Harry Darling, central defender. So I don't like about this, and I don't know how to put it in. Can I add a new column? No, you can't add a new column to this. There's actually nowhere. I know of Harness, but he's out on loan, and he's not what I'm looking for anyway. Yeah, another winger. They're just not finding what I want. Hey, not England. Attacking midfielder. I'm looking for someone who can play as a DLP. A winger. Out on loan, so that's no good anyway. Nothing here. 7 in progress, though. Again, another player out on loan, so it's pointless. Promising. And he can tackle and mark. He's not very brave, though, not very strong, but at least he has a tackle. He's composed. Decent decisions, not brilliant, but okay for this league. Off the ball, decent. Positioning, okay. His work rate and teamwork are not as good as I would like it to be, but then if I get desperate, I might have to bring him in. So let's put him on the short list for a month. I don't know. Did I check? Oh, he's on loan. There's no point in having a look at that. 16 in progress here. And the other thing I've got to do, I can go to my director of football and I can say I want a DM and I want a loan. Let's see what he comes up with. So shooting. His mentals are okay, and I like his work great. It's just really important. But he's not technically the kind of player I'm looking for. And we have no idea about him. Good work, great. Passing is, I guess, like average, isn't it? So he's not really able to find. So let's ask him for a transfer. He's not a DLP, but probably is a Falante. I'm going to scout him if it's possible. And good stamina. It's probably, I think, given his tackling, he's going to be a ball winning. But let's scout him as well. It's going to cost me. And then Leon King can play a variety of roles. Definitely not what I'm looking for. So I can go to players, scouted players. It's already on DM, I think. And we'll just go and add that. There's nothing there. Oh my goodness me. Scouted players, there's actually only 3. Oh boy, the scouts are terrible. They're going to filter by assignment. There's nobody. He hasn't found anybody yet. Who's James Hill? Nah. Not for me. I don't know. It's a conundrum. Feels like I'm stuck with the group of players that I've got. That was a dreadful, dreadful performance, boys. It was like absolutely shocking. I don't think I could have done any more, though. When's the next game? Oh, this glitch. When is the next game? 3 days. Oh, blimey. Let's rest them for a day. We do need to start him more. He's a very, very good player. Let's start him more. I can't afford to upset him in a transfer window and have him leave. He's young, though, that's the problem. To loan him, you're having a laugh. Oh, is this another bottom of the league team? Let's not spend too much time on this. I'm going to go to the analyst report and just -2 for a 4-3-3, -8 for the 4-2-3-1. So let's switch it back to the 4-2-3-1 temporarily. Don't necessarily have to go on what everybody else has done. And let's have a look in their data hub. Oh, God. I can see it already. Oh, please, no. Don't tell me they're going to play with a 5 at the back. Teams know. Let's all play for 5 at the back. Because all their defensive actions are right in their penalty area, basically. and their defensive efficiency. Let's have a look at it. Busy defense, but getting towards being a good defense. It's an average defense, but busy. This is going to another team that's going to sit back, aren't they? And their goal output. We are good in terms of goal output, but why we're not scoring all of a sudden, it's hard to work out. Millwall are poor in terms of their goal output. The passing from the midfielders, if I can make sense of this, they are quite good in terms of their passing. They have a lot of passes attempted by the look of it, but they're kind of not getting their passes to particularly to connect. The goalkeeper, fewer saves, but saves most shot. They're going to actually just sit behind me, aren't they? They don't. I'm surprised because they're going to be playing in that 4-2-3-1, and maybe I need to go and have a look at the formations that they've used. If we go to the analyst report and look at the formations used, the 4-2-3-1 they use most of the time. So sitting back is a dangerous game that they're playing. We've seen that. We know they're going to sit back. They don't have pace. I'm going to start with a higher line and start with that this time. I want to check on. It's getting harder and harder. I want to check on their team report. They're good at marking. This is like, it might turn out this man-to-man marking stuff again. Their also anticipation is good, so they're going to get into the right places. And concentration is very good. Those two, marking and concentration. They don't do well against near post corners, so we need to change that to near post. Their passing really isn't great, but then neither is ours. And they have no pace, so we play with a high line. We push up on them. They're not very brave. And they don't do well against a 4-2-3-1. It's been a source of problems for them. They're not very brave, and their first touch is poor. Technique is poor. I actually think that I need to press them. We didn't have much luck, so I'm going to counter press them. And I'm going to just damp down the trigger press a little bit. But we're going to counter press when we lose the ball. Put pressure on them up here. Anucci swaps over with Neil. They can't play any worse than they played last time. That's what I'm going on. He should be on defend. So we're going to have an anchor, which will be Neil. And then we'll have the Volante on attack. Let's switch them over. He wants to be a Volante on attack, and we'll have Neil as the anchor. We'll just start with this. Let's play Roberts as a winger. And then let's have him cut inside with the ball. And then we'll have an underlap on this side. Let's try that. Who's lifting you up? I think United fans are getting to know what it feels like when your pride is knocked. Oh, absolutely, Mr. K. Fully understand what you're saying there. I like, if we can make those two signings of Mbuemo and Cunha. Cunha's already signed. Then we're making a good start. And I've read that at last somebody is making good changes instead of the normal rubbish that we see. Somebody finally is making good changes and not going and signing players based on their old reputation, which doesn't carry anything anymore. O'Neill, maybe, because Neil's not being particularly good at the moment. And O'Neill is dying to get into the team. Sialt for Mepham, I guess, yeah. He needs time. He needs game time. Otherwise, he's going to start complaining. He's not a bad player. Where is he? I forgot. We have Samid, but he's on international duty. That's why I'm short in midfield. Where's Sialt then? There he is. So he can come in for Mepham. Have a game. Dan Neil and then Joe Bellingham up front. Yeah, maybe Anucci needs some time off. So I'm just going to take his advice. Who's better as the Volante? He is. Take his advice and rest a couple of players. Bellingham might play better as the attacking mid. Don't know. Who knows? We need to certainly be better than what we're doing. I'm going on the hope that they can't be as bad as they were in the last game. Pretty much. So, yeah, I was thinking about Manchester United, and I feel if they can bring in Mbuemo, they're going to have to pay for him. But if they can bring him in, and he wants to go to United, that's the thing. It's strange how these players are actually holding out to go to United. They want to be part of the project. They know it's a big club, and they want to be part of that project. And the reputation of United seems undamaged. So if we can then find a really good midfielder who's not a name player with an old reputation, the likes of, well, we got Casemiro or, what's his name, who I want to get rid of so desperately, Mount. We need to have somebody who is youngish and will run all over the pitch. Who will just... I'm thinking of these Liverpool midfielders who just run and run and run and run and never give up. And, if we can find one of those as well, and then a good right wing back, I think we're starting to get there. And then it's just filling in the bits then. We need a striker, but I think with better service, I think Højlund would be okay, but he doesn't get the ball ever. It's like, I'd be really seriously pissed off if I was Højlund. Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having senior players, but having players who don't really want to play for the club, they're playing for the money, and there's many of them went to United for that reason. Now there's a boy. 21k. Now there's someone. Now there. Let's just have a look at his... Now he's got to come in, hasn't he? He's available for loan. And his mentals are excellent. He can pass a football. The thing is, do I have enough loan spots left? I've got 4 on loan. I don't know what the rules are. No more than 5 loan players, so I can bring him in. There we go. Very, very good player. We don't have to add, we're just going to go and make an offer. Holy shit, they just upped it. Well, it's a bit pricey for me. I'm going to come down a little bit. I can only give 60%, but let's add, see if we can add something. A future additional fee. That just doesn't seem to want me to do anything here. It's not a sale, so that just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem I can add money to it. I could try an optional... I can't do that. We could try like 10 goals and slap on a nice and we could add a future optional bonus. We can add a bonus. And we can add... Let's go for glory. Oh, for goodness sake. The board will not allow me to do this. I can't talk to the board. I can't sign him. So we'll just have to leave that for now. I mean, that, like, solves all the problems, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to sign him. Do you think that will help? I'm under budget, and I don't know why. Like, I've got 20k. 20k, I'm under budget. I'm also trying to sell players. So the transfer budget needs to come down. Wage budget's going up. That gives me 100 grand. Almost 100 grand. So let's go back to him. Oh, it won't let me go back. Where did I find that? I should have put him on the short list, shouldn't I? There he is. Go back to the loan offer. Ah, but they're going to up that. What have I got in terms of... I'm still only allowed 60%. Yeah, pointless exercise. I've got the money. The board just will not let me spend the money. Come on. He usually says this for a reason. That's probably because we have the winger out on the right. So I'm going to go with that. And let's go and have a look at the opposition. I don't think there's anything really to worry about, particularly. It's just hard tackle, left foot. Sometimes the game is cruel when we've got everything in place and it won't just refuses to let you buy him. Or loan him. It's just like the game saying total point blank, nah, you're not having him. No matter what you do, you're not having him. Well, we can try that. After this game, we'll go and give it a try. I just don't see them saying, yep, okay, that's okay. But we'll try it. He's got a weak left foot and he needs a hard tackle, this boy. And Billy Mitchell. He's definitely a weaker foot guy. His left, is it his right or his left foot? His left foot's reasonable. And I'm just wondering, has he got a long shot? Yes. Nah, not really. Duncan Watmore. It's another team who are going to sit back anyway. Hard tackle and left foot. Is it? Watmore? Yeah, we're just going to force him outside. Crossing of only 10. Probably tight mark him. Usually is the danger man, the playmaker, so we'll just tight mark him. And he's not very brave, or he's not particularly strong. In fact, he's not particularly dangerous at all, this boy. So we force him outside anyway onto his right foot. And then, oh, there he is, my friend, Macaulay Langstaff. Who could never score a goal for me, but I bet you he scores against me today. Left foot and hard tackle him. Notts County, he couldn't hit a barn door. The barn door fell on him. I'm going to go with what we're doing. I want to up the tempo again. But actually not so high. Counter press them. Put them under as much pressure as we can. If that doesn't work, we'll have to go pull the lines back, go a little bit wider, and see what happens. But why don't I feel very optimistic? We can check on Honeyman hard tackling. That's not a problem. I don't think so, though. Yeah, why not? Let's give him a hard tackle as well. And because we're going to force both of them outside, that's fine. And that's fine. And I'd like to say I want to see much better yeah, we are favourites here, and I want them left with no doubt as why we were favourites. I don't always, very rarely expect from players, but this is really important, this game. Another team that are just going to sit back and soak it up. But they are playing in a 4-2-3-1, and that probably is going to be quite hard for them to sit back. I just want to watch how my press is doing. Are they struggling with it? Not really. We're not a good pressing team, and I wonder why I've done that, but I just feel like I want to put their back line under more pressure than we did in the last game. And we're off to the same start as what was happening in the last game. Missing a lot of chances. Hey, ADHD, how you doing, my friend? And our corners are pretty poor as well. So it's the same exactly feeling that I'm getting as I got in the last game. Lots of set pieces, but lots of spurned opportunities. Well, that was better. The press seemed to be okay at that point. Come on, where's his support? Somebody's got to be supporting him. Where's the attacking mid there? He's gone missing. We've got enough players forward to break this four at the back. But look at that. It's chronic finishing. It's just chronic finishing. There's nothing as a manager I can do about that. All I can do is set them up to get into positions. And they are getting into scoring positions. And there's the defensive line being deep and getting blocks in. Must be. Get in! We've broken the line. I thought we cannot be as bad as we were last time. And finally we've broken the line. I'm not quite sure why the goalkeeper didn't fall on that. But that's not my problem. That's Millwall's problem. Really, that's two people who are doing a Sunderland save, which is really cool. How are you getting on? How are you getting on, ADHD? I'm finding it very difficult. I guess I'm quite a hard manager because we're sitting in third. And if we win this, we could go second again. But I'm coming out of every game disappointed in them. And it's like, come on, boys, let's have some effort. Just lost the first game of the season. First game of the season playing Arsenal in a Sunderland save. Oh, you must be got promoted already. This is what we got to be careful of. Is these counter-attacks. But Langstaff isn't very good. Because they will counter-attack. Updated database. Ah, gotcha. All right, okay, so it's next year. So it's like their promotion season. He's onside, I think, but that was poor finishing. Again, 4 shots, only 1 on target. Have I got work the ball at the box switched on? Yeah. I wonder about this, but I'm going to leave it off for the moment because we're a goal up. But I wonder if we should be trying to pass it into space, have players running onto it instead of pass to feet, which doesn't always please me, pass to feet. And why can't we get headers on target like that? He was offside, was he? We are looking like their counter-attack is going to put us under pressure. And I wonder if I should lower the line to stop that counter-attack. If it happens one more time, I'm going to lower the line. If we go 2-0 up, I'll keep doing what we're doing. I need my boy at the African Champions League back. He's a good player in midfield, and I need him back. Come on, you've got to be winning that ball. Well done. Get your foot in and keep the ball now. Keep the ball. Zip it around. No highlight there. You know, set pieces we might as well not bother with at the moment. 5 shots, only 1 on target. This is what I'm struggling with at the moment. Finishing. And we've got enough bodies going forward. It's just we don't have the forwards. I mean, we're creating tons and tons of chances. There's that trigger press. It took a centre back right out of shape. Yeah, I think I'm being told by the game to lower this line. I think that's what the game is telling me. And I don't want that big space now. But we'll see how that works out. And because I don't think that they're actually playing in midfield. They actually don't care about their midfield. And they're just bypassing midfield. So that big space might not be an issue. But I don't like them with those through balls or long balls over the top. Set pieces are awful at the moment. Hey Kagri, how are you? Good to see you. No, we're not going to play for set pieces. They're not exactly successful. Yes, they're creating chances for us, but we are not capable of taking them at the moment. Ballard is absolutely knackered, as are a number of players, to be honest. Well done. Get your foot in there. Go on, Roberts. Go on, have a run. Lovely cross. Get on the end of it. Nobody there. Anticipation, very poor. At this point in the season, I'm going to take a 1-0 win. There are times when you simply can't score goals, and I'll take a 1-0 at the moment. And hope that the time where the switch is on, that we can just keep picking up enough points. There's no reason to be, once again, that's 2 games in the trot, to be creating so many chances and not get them on target when 2 games ago it was not an issue. It's kind of like, that's for me is the switch. And we just got to ride that out. Ballard must have taken a knock because he's okay now. And they've made a substitution. Just turn him onto his left foot. They're not playing in midfield, so we really don't need to worry about him. We need to worry about our own poor performance. But at the moment, I'm going to keep going with what we're doing. We're a goal up, as long as they don't come back into it now. And all they can do is put long balls over the top, and so I've lowered the line, and that should help with that. They're not trying to play in any other way. And the only other thing I can do is to slow it down. We're a goal up. We can try and slow it down. So it is perhaps that the tempo's too high for our attacking players. That might be the issue. So I am going to try that. I'm going to slow it right down. And maybe even play out of defence. Just slow it down. And then maybe you won't be too hasty when you're in or around the penalty area. So, I mean, I can't think of anything else. Like, we tried about 4 different things in the last game. Connolly is just not getting on the end of things. Nobody is... There's a lot of blocks going on. And nobody is actually playing particularly well enough to create anything. I think we got lucky with the goal. I'd blame the goalkeeper for that. And earlier, like, Connolly was getting his head on those. It's just like he's not trying at the moment. I'm good, Cagri. I hope you are too. Sunderland save is not as easy as it looks. It's definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. When I selected the team from the list, I thought I had as good a chance as any of the teams. Hindsight, maybe I could have picked Ipswich. But I've already done an Ipswich save, and I just didn't want to do another Ipswich save. But they're all difficult. They're none of them predicted to actually get promoted straight out. Some of them are promoted to reach the playoffs, but only just. So they're all difficult. You're going to have to play well to actually get promoted. Now, let's counter. Let's catch them while they're high up the pitch. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything out of Chris Rigg or Job at the moment. I'm not getting anything out of them. And bit of a shame, but it sometimes happens in the game. We keep persevering with them. Chris Rigg in particular has just not been developing at all. He doesn't play well when he's in the team. And I keep bringing him on and he doesn't show anything. He doesn't inspire me to give him a start. But Bellingham's had lots of starts and he's just too, I don't know. It's like he's just not quite got it in FM. Or at least in this save. Sometimes they are brilliant and sometimes they're not. Come on, boys. All this long shooting. I'm going to be more disciplined. You've got to tell them. You've got to follow the game plan. That's why the game plan is there, to make your life easier. That at least was on target. But we've got to make some changes here. Joe Bellingham's having a good game. I'm not quite sure why. I haven't been that particularly impressed with anybody. They have made subs. So I need to look at that. I need to look at subs of my own. He's a central defender. I don't know much about him. In fact, nothing is known, apart from the fact he's not a winger. So I'm just going to put him on his left foot and hope for the best. And then I think I need to give Patrick Roberts a rest, to be honest. Benete can come on. I don't think he wants to play as a winger. Particularly, he's better as an inside forward. So I'm going to put him as an inside forward. Isidore, I'm going to play him as a winger. He's not playing particularly well, actually. So Louis Barry can come on for him. He can play as a winger. We'll put him on as a winger, try to create some space out wide. But these teams who sit back, they're so difficult. And then we got players not playing well in midfield again. Dan Neil. I could bring, I think, no, he's a midfielder, isn't he? We're going to try Chris Rigg again. And see if he can unlock the defence. Bellingham is tired. So Anucci can come on here. He plays better, I think, as the attacking mid. We seem to have removed that counter-attack threat that they had. Sirkin is also fading. They don't seem to have counter-attacked with the long ball over the top for a while in the highlights. So it seems like we've addressed that by lowering the line. But we just need to score goals, boys. Come on. I'll even take a goal from a set piece. Sirkin is very tired. But Luke O'Neill is fading too. Oh. FM, please, come on. Enough of this switch nonsense. The switch really annoys me. How long are you going to last this time? How long it lasts is dependent on how good your squad quality is. Now here comes the long ball, but we've defended that. Sunderland looks a good team to play with in FM. I'm doing Darlington. Darlington, I mean, that would be nice to do. I'd like to do a Woking save because it's near where I live and they're in the Vanarama South, and see how far we could take Woking. And I probably wouldn't do that as a YouTube save though, because I'd like to play full match, prep well for each game, not just the 5 minutes I'm doing here, but spend an hour prepping for each game. That's the way I like to play, and I think I'd love to do Woking. I think that would be a fun save to do. Oh, that was well done by Benete. Maybe he needs a bit more game time. Maybe I've over-relied on Patrick Roberts. Oh, no, in both saves I'm doing on live streams, I've got my work cut out. Ipswich is not getting any easier. And this is tough because I really don't want to be in the playoffs. I kind of feel that if things go well, I can get them automatic promotion. But, the playoffs. Oh, I don't want to be there. Oh, Louis Barry. Finally. Sirkin is very tired. He's got to come off. Not quite sure he is an attacking wing back. So I might switch these over actually. So we'll put him on support. He's a better defensive and he's an attacking wing back. Put him on attack. And we'll have him as an inside forward on support. There we go. It's actually a long time since I did taking a team from the bottom and building them up. And yeah, it would be kind of fun. And maybe if there is an FM26. And actually, I mean, I've been looking at some of the screenshots of that Sega game. And they are taking data from Football Manager to base the game on in terms of players. And I've been looking at some of the screenshots and I'm wondering, is FM going to look like that? Is that what FM26 is going to look like? And it doesn't look good, to be honest. I think I prefer this. And I think if that's kind of what a preview of what Unity is looking like, and I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's called Club Championship Manager or something. I don't know if you guys have seen that, because the graphics do not look really good at all. And it might be that's what we're going to get in the first Unity edition. Like a work in progress, which looks horrible. And I'm not sure I'd be too happy at the end of the day with that. But I'm going to go back to balanced. Maybe just we're a little bit too aggressive with them now. I think I'll come off the press as well. We don't need to do that now. We're leading. And that's fine. We don't need to press them. So, yeah, I mean, if FM26 is good, I might start with the Woking save. I am just so worried about what it's going to look like. Just really worries me. Who's this guy? It's not him. Who's just come on? Langstaff went off. There you go. That's all we need to do with him. He's not that great. And they've got to score twice in the last 10 minutes. And I don't think they've had the ball, have they? Very much. %58 possession. They're just like launching these counterattacks which aren't working for them now. Just drop the line and they can't now think of anything else to do. They're really struggling with that one little tweak. I also thought coming into a mid-block, but I just felt, why bother? They're not even bothering with midfield, so why bother protecting our midfield? Because they are never there. They're just absent from midfield. Come on, telling low cross into the box. Nope. Nobody's following directions at the moment, are they? Ooh, this game sometimes. But we're on the course for a win. That's all that matters at the end of the day. We've just got to, in this patch where the switch is on and we can't hit the target, we just have to grind out results somehow. Keep making changes. And hopefully one or two of them will work. I've got the new Villa game coming out tomorrow, the game against Liverpool. That was something else. As I've not enjoyed a morning of FM as much for a long, long time. That game was something else, and I lived through the tension for the whole game, and it was like it took about 60 minutes to play through that, and I lived through every single bit of tension. And when I come out, I like relief, and I don't know, all sorts of emotions were going on, and I felt like I'd actually been managing in a football match. And I got to saw everything and lived every detail. And because it was in full match, I was able to make so many changes. I didn't make any changes to our team setup, but I was telling individual players, shouting at them, like, don't cross so often. I told Matty Cash, don't cross so often. I was able to do that. And it was so much fun. I didn't get the result I wanted, but it was just so much fun. I'm in the playoffs just about. I won eight league games without a win and managed to beat 8 games without a win and still get in the playoffs is really cool. You can't, if you're looking to get into that kind of situation, you can't go on an 8-game run where you don't win. But you've done well there. You've done well. And I think we are okay in this game. Let's be nice to them in the dressing room. I really should be saying I'm disappointed again, because I am disappointed with how they played. And I desperately need that midfielder. Well done, lads. It was a good win for us. Yeah, we'll do that. It was a good win. It got us out. I'm back into second place. What happened to Derby then? They drew 0-0, that's why. Drew 0-0 earlier in the day. That's how he knew it would get us into second. Yeah, I was just going to do that because I saw he was absolutely exhausted, and for a centre-back, so we're going to rest him for next game. Nice to praise someone. I mean, we're 8 unbeaten, and it's like, why am I complaining about this? I want to go back to the scouting centre, and I want to go and see, where is he, Lewis Cook? I can't buy him, I haven't got the money. And he would be such a really useful asset at the back there. So I go to that make an offer screen again. And where's the button? There isn't a button here that says interact with the board. And normally there is. So they're definitely not willing to go. They're going to want 90%. So I could try 60. And then I can, like, let's pop some money in there. It's probably not enough. Let's go 100k. The now total cost of the loan will be 950k. I've got that money. Total cost of the loan would be 950,000. The board will allow to offer wages only up to. So let's try that. Oh, yay. Gotcha. But he hasn't made his mind up that he's going to come yet. That's a good note. Yeah, which are not more than chasing it. They've accepted it. And him and Ahmed in midfield, I'm going to feel a lot better with those two in midfield. And 8 games unbeaten. I was 8 games winless. And what time is it now? It's 10 o'clock. I know I've only played 2, but I've had a great time with those 2 games. And I'm going to go and I've got to go and have a cup of tea now. And I probably could go for another hour, but I've also got to do the editing on the video for tomorrow. So, not that I'm making excuses, but I'm old now. And I get away with things. So, thank you very much, guys, for all your input and coming along and supporting me and chatting to me. I love it. Making videos is nowhere near as good as doing live streams. Nowhere near. And that's why I continue to do live streams. And you can also see then that I play the game properly, that I don't cheat or I don't do anything untowards. And we're getting results at last, and that's good news. The next fixture is against Chelsea. Goodbye FA Cup, I think. The squad needs a rest. Ballard, again, is not going to be allowed to rest. He's having a rest for a week anyway. So we'll rest them. And we will come back for the FA Cup game away at Chelsea. And see how we get on. I'm hard on them, I know. But when we look at what we did to West Brom, when we stuffed them over 2 games, 12-1, and now suddenly, all of a sudden, we can't score goals, it kind of like always like smacks of hello, they put the switch on again. But maybe the switch is off now, and we can get on with playing some football. We've got fixtures that we can win. Derby is the big one that's coming up. And then that's followed straight away by Burnley. 6 points there, and we're home and dry. So we just got to get to that point, and then hopefully get 6 points out of that. And that's nice to know, Cadbury. Nice to know. Thank you guys for coming along, and thanks for all the likes that I'm getting. I appreciate it. It's the likes that are the most important things when you're doing YouTube. Nothing is more important than how many likes you get. So thanks, guys, and I do appreciate your support. And for this save, I think I'm back on, is it Monday or Sunday? I'll have to check, but it's not long. For this save, I think we're back on Monday, maybe. Sunday is Ipswich. Sunday and Wednesday are Ipswich. Monday and Friday is Sunderland. So I will see you soon, guys. Thanks all. I'll see you all soon. And have a good what's left of your evening. Have a great Saturday. I've got a Villa video coming out at lunchtime tomorrow. Don't forget to watch that. It's a cracker, as it used to say. And so I will see you all hopefully very soon. Take care, guys, and be safe. Bye for now.